All right, wait. Are you really making a list and checking it twice?
It's that time of year, right?
And you're telling everyone else to do it too.
Everybody should have a checklist. No, wait.
We are
You don't
all
have to
Santa
create
Claus.
the checklist. Did your kids all figure that out? Wait a sec. Who is Santa Claus?
Hey, welcome to the Financial Success Podcast with certified and certifiable financial planner Mike Morton. I'm your host, Matt Robeson. We are not like those other shows that add to your stress, that make you feel more overwhelmed. This is all about simplicity, like Marcus Aurelius, simplicity. We go for what works to be successful. Mike, joking aside about setting up lists, you like lists. You like checklists. You're kind of a list guy.
I love who doesn't like checklists? Don't you like knocking things off of the to-do list? Doesn't it make you feel good?
Well, that's the whole point, is that it feels like no matter how many I knock off, more keep coming. I love a good checklist. I'm like Leslie Knope, but all right. But this is one where I think you've got an end of year version that really is a kind of, you will check these things off and you will have accomplished something, and it's not that long, but it's productive.
Yeah. Yeah, here's the cool thing. You're thinking it's like the end of the year, maybe got some financial things. You always think about the end of the year, tax situation, got to finish stuff in this calendar year. You might remember a few things you need to do, but you might not remember all of them. So now you're feeling a little stressed out, like, oh wait, did I capture everything? So we've got a handy checklist that you can download and go through. Takes, 10 or 15 minutes. And then you will feel great, because by the time you read through it, you'll be like, all right, I thought about everything that needed thinking about, and we're all set.
Right. You ever have that nagging feeling? It's like, where did I leave the oven on, or did I leave my car running? Well, you don't have to have a nagging feeling. By the way, programming note, we are going to feature a listener question that is right on theme for today in the middle of this. So thank you in advance to the listener who submitted that. And hang on till the end for our one thing segment, where today we will truly offer one thing, because a lot of the holidays is a spiral downward, and we're going to do one thing to maybe arrest the spiral, maybe not. All right.
Avoid arrest.
Yeah. I might get arrested.
Right.
All right. So just walk us through, like, what's sort of the issue that we're tackling here today? There's like a bunch of end of year stuff, and I think we're all vaguely aware of that, like, isn't there stuff as the end of the year happens that we're supposed to be doing financially-ish?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a bunch of things to be considering, before time runs out in the calendar year 2024. So there's a handy checklist I put together that goes through all these kinds of topics and asks a bunch of questions. And most of them will be like, nope, doesn't apply, or yep, I thought about that. So it should be pretty fast to go through. But again, you don't want to leave any stone unturned here. So you want to make sure to consider these things. And I thought in the episode here, Matt, we'll just cover a couple of them. And then people can download the checklist and check out the rest of them.
Let's hit what those couple are before we do. Will this list reveal what Hogwarts house I would have been sorted into?
That's a different list. It's a different list. Different time of year.
I guess I'll take
We're not
this
doing the
one
sorting
too.
right now.
All right. Let's hit some highlights. Just real quick. What do you want to go with first?
All right. Required minimum distributions, RMDs. These have to be done every single year. So we're at the end of the year. And if you haven't already taken yours, you better make sure to take it.
So RMDs. So we're talking nuclear weapons, biological weapons, no.
Correct.
No.
Of mass destruction.
What's a required minimum distribution, man?
All right. Thought we'd just move on from there. It'd be so easy.
We got to define a term for me, for not for the intelligent people in our audience who are nodding sagely, but for me.
Yeah. So there's tax deferred accounts where you have not yet paid tax, and eventually the government wants you to pay the tax on those. So it'd be your 401ks or your IRAs. And you have not yet paid tax. And so at some point in your life, typically in your 70s, you have to start taking the money out. You are required, that's the R, required to take money out of your IRAs or your 401ks. Now, the one that comes up a lot with the clients I have, because I typically work with clients that are still working with families, haven't retired yet, but don't forget inherited IRAs also fall under this. You have to take your RMD, you have to distribute some money from inherited IRAs. And there's all kinds of different rules. So you do have to be aware of them and look them up. But that's what we mean by required minimum distributions.
And if you are scratching your head there and saying, wait, inherited, we just did a show on this. We just did a show on it. So check it out if you want to deep dive a little further on that. Okay.
Yeah. And wait, cool note in 2024, actually, I'll walk back what I just said. Yes, there are RMDs, all kinds of rules about inherited IRAs. But for the 2024, you actually do not have to take money out of your inherited IRA. Congress said, no, you don't have to do it this year. No penalties, no problem. But that being said, you definitely want to take a look at it, because remember, when you take money out of these accounts, it's income for that year. So you don't want to say like, nah, I just won't worry about it, push it to next year. That might mean you'll double your income next year. You might have to take more out. So you want to, understand these things for your situation. So that's RMDs 2024. Make sure you're taking out what is required or taking out something to, smooth out your tax situation.
Cool. Well, I mean, look, that's the beauty of a screening tool, which is basically what your checklist is, right? It's like, if this doesn't apply to you, move on. If it does apply to you, then we've got some resources here. We just did a show about it. You can get into the ins and outs. Speaking of moving on, let's move on. What's next?
Roth conversions. We all love free money, tax-free forever money. So you want to take some of your money from your tax-deferred accounts and put it into your tax-free accounts. And that is a Roth conversion. And in the year that you do that, if you do it here in December 2024, then it will count as income for this year. But then that money will be growing tax-free forever.
Dude, I'm doing this. I'm so doing
Are
this.
you?
I don't know.
No, you're not. Are you?
Am I?
All right. Maybe you should.
I'm trying to use the psychology trick of making a public declaration of something as an anchoring mechanism to force oneself to do it. This is something that I know is good for me, like cod liver oil or brushing my teeth, but I'm probably not going to do.
Wait, is cod liver oil, is that really good for you?
No, neither is brushing your teeth. Wait, what? Hey, hold on. This is not a medical advice show. This is a financial advice show, although we're not giving specific financial advice. What are we giving?
We're giving some thoughts you might want to consider with relation to your finances.
Oh boy. All right.
Wait, I'm so fascinated now. I want to dive into your Roth conversions, but we'll just have to punt it to another episode.
You know what? It's going to turn into either an episode or a one thing where like that's the entire conceit of this show, is that we all have long-term to-do items that never, ever get cleared. And this is just one that's been nagging for a long time. It goes back to the fact that I have way too much money in my brokerage account compared to what should be in my tax-preferred, tax-deferred accounts. Gotcha. And so I've got steps. I got to do.
Since you have way too much money in those accounts, Matt, you can just hand it over to me anytime, and that'll really take care of your problem.
And I'll get a tax benefit from that. That's the idea.
I'll give you a kickback. How's that sound?
Well, look, if you want a future preview, while we're hawking other episodes, you did a whole thing on this, backdoor money laundering, I think you called it. And,
I
got a backdoor money.
Legal kind.
It is legal. Legal. All right.
Cool.
What's next?
Charitable giving, of course, right? If you're going to do some charitable giving, make sure you do it in the calendar year. It counts in that calendar year. So whatever year you do it, you get a tax deduction. Now be careful, because a lot of times people think that you just automatically get a tax deduction for all your charitable giving. So you give $1,000. It's great for that organization. And then I save off my taxes. Not always the case, but take a look at charitable giving before the end of the year.
What you're saying is, what's the point of altruism if it doesn't benefit me?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
It's got to benefit you.
Good. Just so we're clear on terms here.
That's right.
Right. Charity is good. It's a good time of year for charity.
It's a good time of year to kind of think about all that. And another point on this, we've talked about this in the past. It's a great opportunity for bringing in the kids as well. A lot of the clients I work with have charitable intentions, and that we usually punt it to the end of the year. You don't have time, or it's a good season to be doing it, right? So finally, here we are at the end of the year, so we got to get on top of it. You can include the kids, have a family discussion on your values and what you want to support, get them involved. It's a good way of getting them involved also in financial discussions, right? So it's a good introduction to finances and money.
Well, what we do is what we've done for the past couple of years is I create an advanced list of pre-selected charities that we'd all be happy to give to. And then I ask my kids to go through, spend an hour, do a little research, read up on them, and take the budget that I've allocated for end of year giving, and they make the decisions. We're equally happy among, these handful of 6 or 7 charities. But you decide and then make a presentation to us on why. Why do you think this is?
Right. Here, you got to level it up this year, Matt. This year, I want the same thing. I want the kids doing the presentation, but there's going to be a prize. Whoever has the best presentation gets the extra pot of money to their charity.
And whoever has the worst one is out of the family.
It's out of the family.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Your charitable instincts are found wanting. Good luck being a Morton. All right. What's next?
Oh, so good. All right. Last one. Tax estimates, Q4 tax estimates. So this has to do with income, not necessarily right before the end of the year, but you want to consider your income. We just talked about RMDs, Roth conversions, charitable giving. These all have tax implications, of course, for 2024. So if you are recognizing some extra income, Matt, you're doing that big Roth conversion, you have extra income, you're going to want to make a Q4 estimated tax payment.
Q4 estimated tax payment. Gosh, you know what? As an adult, I never learned anything about and refused to, and will hopefully never learn anything about estimated tax payments. Now, IRS, if you're listening to this, I have not done anything wrong or illegal, and I don't owe you any money. Okay, I just want to be clear about this. But this is just a topic that, boy, I am aggressively against learning anything about. But if you tell me that I need to pay some attention to this, I will.
Nah, you'll probably be fine, Matt. I have no idea if you're gonna be fine. This is not financial advice for Matt Robeson.
All right, I have 2 questions in order. Right. This does not represent. Caveat understood. I have 2 quick follow-up questions for you. One, is that the end of your list?
That is the end of my list, but the checklist that you will download has many more items.
Oh,
not many more, just more.
Okay, you anticipated my question because I counted four items. On that list. And I was like, well, why are we titling this, your checklist? It shouldn't be like top 4, some pun. Shouldn't you make it?
No, because you don't like doing top lists. We're all about,
No, you're right.
the one thing that you're missing. You've got to tune in and check it out.
No, you're right. This is better. 1 is less than 4. 1 is simpler than 4. Okay. Listener question. Let's get to your listener question. It is, should I take my bonus in December 2024 or January 2025. First of all, listener, congratulations on getting a bonus. Mike, where's my bonus? And should I take it?
It's in the mail.
This month, in December 2024 or January 25? Actually, if it's in the mail, I might not be able to take it until January.
That's right. Yeah, it's not up to you.
All right.
So this is a great question. Some people have the opportunity for what we call recognizing income when you actually get the income in which year. So, hey, should I take my bonus in 2024 or punt it to 2025? Can have a big tax implication, of course, right, to when you have that bonus. So the things I would consider is looking at your overall tax situation on which is going to be better for you. Hey, do you already have a lot of income in 2024? It was a really great year. Then go ahead and push that to 2025. Or the opposite. Hey, this year was a little slow. Let me take the bonus this year. The other thing to consider in this question is other stuff that you might have done. We just talked about Roth conversions. Oh yeah, I did a big Roth conversion. Then that's income in 2024. Maybe you don't want to take your bonus also in 2024. So that's really the way, when we're talking about taxes and income, again, we've said before, Matt, you want to smooth out your income, kind of stay in those lower tax brackets when possible. So if you have the option for recognizing income in one year versus another, just think about your overall income situation for that year.
So this is a basic case of pay taxes when your marginal tax rates are lowest.
That's correct. Yeah, that's the big thing that I would consider. Unless you need the money for a bunch of Christmas gifts, then maybe December would be better than January.
Mike, you shouldn't have. I guess I have 2 questions then that follow from this. One is, should I take the fact that you told me to take my bonus in 2025 as a sign that my tax rates will be lower in 2025 because you're going to fire me. Is that what it is? Is that what's happening here?
I mean, I don't want to say anything. That's why the bonus may or may not be even in the mail. If I was firing you, Matt, I wouldn't send you a bonus. So,
yeah, but it's not that either. Okay, fine. Number 2 for our video viewers, how much did we coordinate our shirt choice today before we started recording?
Oh, I mean, we went to the closet at least 3 or 4 times trying to get it just right. I mean, plus you're blending into your background. The blue shirt, blue background, I can barely see you.
It was basically like the scene in that documentary, Pretty Woman, where you go to the store and you try on all the clothes. All right.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
All right. And before we close out and get to our one thing, let's just round out the overall topic of, the listener question is in the theme of it's end of the year. Let me, make my final selections in a smart way. I want to be clear, we're not trying to overload people with a massive set of more things to worry about. We're just trying to identify, here are the kinds of things that are either coming up or that might be nagging at you. So here's a way of kind of decluttering and comprehensively going through and just saying really quickly, like, don't need to worry about it. Don't need to worry about it. Here's what I do. Don't need to worry about this.
Yeah.
I've taken care of that. Anything major in there that you just want to mention that didn't make your top 4?
No, I think that's the right way of thinking about it. And the only, highly recommend checking out the checklist or downloading it, but at the same time, don't want to add to your list. There's a lot of activity going on right now. So if you heard those top 4 and you're like, I'm not even thinking about it, it's fine, I'm great, then you're great.
Yeah.
You're fine. But if you are thinking about 1 or 2 things, you're like, ooh, is that all? Hey, here's an opportunity to just like quickly download the checklist and, make sure you considered everything.
Right. Or you might want to take a look at it just to see like reassure yourself, like this is what I was missing in the presentation.
Exactly.
And it's nothing to worry about. Okay. All right. We're on a little bit of a voyage of discovery here with our one thing segment because I suggested an item for you and you had an interpretation of it. So let's do it in that order. Okay. This is literally how it unfolded between the two of us. I said, my year-end activity is I'm going to do it. I'm putting you on notice, Xfinity. I have paid for the bundle too long, and I am going to adopt your suggestion to me. I'm going to make use of YouTube TV. I had a little micro task on my list, which was to look up, can I get my Celtics games on YouTube TV? Turns out, looks like I can. So I'm going to call. I'm going to sign up for the free trial. And then, provided that all works, I'm going to set aside an hour because that's what it freaking takes. And I'm going to call the cable company and I'm going to do it. I'm going to unbundle myself. And
you're going to be unbundled. You're cutting the cord. Cutting the cord. It's only 2025.
Not entirely.
Do it before 2025.
Not entirely.
Matt,
I'm still umbilically connected to the mothership because I need my internet. Right.
Well, everybody needs the internet. That's not what I mean by cord. Yeah. I mean, honestly, no one's actually cutting the cord.
Yeah.
I would be seeing you.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That's not how it unfolded. Here's how it unfolded. You were
I got it wrong. I got my own story wrong.
You got your own story incorrect. Here's how it unfolded. It was like this. You know how a few weeks ago in the episode, you were like, I got to total up all my monthly things. Well, I haven't done that yet. But before I do that, I'm going to sign up for YouTube TV. That's what you literally said. You didn't say anything about cutting the cord. You were like, before I check all these other monthly subscriptions, I'm just going to sign up for another one.
So what you were saying, what you were hearing from me was, dig up, stupid. Like, wait, you're going to decrease your monthly costs by increasing your monthly costs. Brilliant.
Yeah. By watching more TV.
I
spiral out of control.
Let me tell you about my ice cream weight loss plan. By the way, I did in a recent episode say that I had made one little tweak to not oversimplify things, and it involved a very specific bowl size for ice cream. I gotta say, it's working. This is a bonus one thing. I'm turning one thing into two things, but it is
Don't forget it.
It is working. This is totally working, and the post-surgery weight is coming off. But anyway, all right, no. The end result of this is the biggest item month to month. Right. I still have this homework to do to go through what expenses are appearing, like services that I signed up for monthly that are appearing on my bill that I can eliminate, achieve some cost savings. That is still a to-do item, but I'm basically big game hunting for the biggest item, which is
what was didn't we have the over-under on that? What was the over-under on the monthly recurring spend?
It's like Warner Wolf. We have to go to the videotape. You
claimed it was something very low, which was unreasonable.
No, I didn't. You claimed it was something very, very high. You said that I was going to save. Oh no, you said I was going to save at least $500 a month.
I didn't say save. I said you're spending. You're spending at least $500 a month.
First of all, anyone who gets the context of the Warner Wolf reference there, I mean, that is, you are old as I am. Second of all, was it Warner Wolf or was it George Michael and the Sports Machine that was Let's Go to the Videotape?
I have no idea.
Dang it.
I have no idea.
Anyway.
See, I'm not as old as you,
We'll go to the
so I don't know what you're referencing.
By a year, you putz. All right, we'll go back to the transcript. That is still a to-do item, right. So people should come back in a future episode, get a report.
All right, here's the last one thing before we close this out. You should take your one thing, sign up for YouTube TV. Did you know, Matt, you can get with like 5 friends and then you can have a family organization and share the YouTube TV with your family and just have one person pay. This is what you tried to get me to do, but you weren't part of my family. My family's full already.
Well, first of all, you've got to make room for whichever child we end up disowning for insufficient charity presentation. Charity. But interesting. I feel like that's overcomplicating what is already a complicated task. I'm trying to keep things simple.
All right. So for the next 4 listeners that email and want in on Matt's family plan, you
join my family.
YouTube TV.
Oh boy, yes. I like the Mansons, more or less. All right. Sounds great.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, I hope that does present a helpful end of year ease of mind wrap up for people. And for Mike Morton, I'm Matt Robeson. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for joining us on Financial Life Planning. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to and rate the podcast on Apple iTunes or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. It makes a massive difference. If you have a comment or question, please email me, mike@mortonfa.com. Until next time, thanks for tuning in. This recording is for informational purposes only and should not be considered for investment advice. Opinions expressed are as of the date of recording. Such opinions are subject to change. I cannot guarantee the accuracy or completeness of the data presented here.